Hello, sports lovers. Welcome to the most authoritative sporting channel here on social media. Today's episode is about two former sparring partners, Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Israil the Dream Madrimov. This is a very interesting fight as both of them has similar attributes and when it comes to boxing, and they are going to face each other in the last crescendo card, which is being headlined by Arta Beterbiev, the undisputed light heavyweight champion and former WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol. This fight is a very good one. Vergil Ortiz, whose record is 22 fights, no loss, no draw. He is 26 years old. He stands at 5'10". He has a reach of 70 inches and he has a knockout percentage of 95. That is a very interesting one. Whilst Israil the Dream Madrimov has 12 fights, he has won 10, lost 1 to Terence Crawford. Then he has also drawn 1. He stands at 5'9". He has a reach of 69 inches and then he is 29 years of age. He is a southpaw and an orthodox fighter. He is ambidextrous. And one interesting thing about Madrimov is that he has a very short pro career, but he has a very extensive amateur background where he has fought over 100 times as an amateur. This goes to the fact that he has faced different styles of boxing, and this would go all the way to help him in this particular fight. Whilst Vergil Ortiz has official 20 amateur fights. So now let's take a look at some of the good attributes of both boxers. Vergil Ortiz is an aggressive fighter. He has power in both hands and his condition is quite good. Whilst Israil the Dream Madrimov is a technician, he is an upper body mover, which is quite difficult for most boxers to implement. He is durable and has the better footwork of the two. So now, what are some of the things that they lack or are not so good at? Vergil Ortiz is not able to adapt very well in mid-fight, as he often is trying to finish the fight off like he started, whilst his defense is not that good because he gets hit cleanly due to the fact that he is always or often than not have a low guard. Whilst with regards to Madrimov, he doesn't have an extensive pro career and sometimes he is over exuberant and aggressive, and someone like with a knowledge of boxing like Terence Crawford used that against him in their fight. Now this fight is going to be won based on technicalities and who can dominate on fight night. Vergil Ortiz would have to use his jab and range. He has a 1-inch advantage when it comes to jab, but he doesn't pop up his jab very often, but he's very efficient with his jab, so he must use the jab and set up everything behind the jab, use the jab to control the range and determine the pace at which the fight is going to go, because if he leaves that for Madrimov, then he'll be in big trouble. So he needs to utilize his jab in this particular fight for his own benefit and not just throw that one jab. He should keep popping it, two jabs or double jabs as we call it, or sometimes triple the jab in order to create a smooth rhythm for himself, because if Vergil Ortiz finds his rhythm, it is always difficult to defeat him, as he has not been defeated so far in his pro career. Then one thing he needs to work on is his head movement in fights, because he gets his hits cleanly. Madrimov may not be the most powerful of punchers, but he can crack, and if you allow yourself to be hit several times by Madrimov, it would be only a matter of time he's able to put a dent into you. Let's all remember that Vergil Ortiz is not a natural super middleweight. He is coming from the welterweight division, where he has struggled to make the weight limit of 147 due to health issues. So he had to move to 154 in order to be making the weight more healthy. So he needs to work on his defense. And one thing that people don't always take into consideration is that your footwork can also play a part of a good defense, because it takes you in range and takes you out of range. As Vergil Ortiz always likes to be in range in order to land those powerful shots, he needs to get his high guard up, head movement up, and also not to move back in a straight line, because that would be key in this particular fight. He needs to be moving side to side in order to make the predictability of Madrimov quite difficult. He is also an efficient body puncher, and that must happen in this particular fight, because with the upper body movement of Madrimov, it is going to be difficult to land that jabs and headshots. So you need to slow him down with loads of body shots, which Vergil Ortiz is a tremendous body puncher, and he is quite accurate with the body shots. How he does it amazes me most often. Now, I spoke of footworks. He must always use his footworks and maintain balance and not lose balance in this particular fight, because anytime he loses balance, Israil Madrimov will take advantage of him. So he needs to be spot on with regards to his footworks, in and out of range, and always stay in balance, and he must use his powerful punch to his advantage in this particular fight. What about Israil Madrimov? Israil Madrimov is a power puncher and a technical fighter. That is quite different for Junior Ortiz. He must use the power to his advantage. His power is accurate, and if Vergil Ortiz does not use the head movement and allow Israil Madrimov to keep landing power punches and form a rhythm, that would be a very, very bad night for Israil Madrimov. Vergil Ortiz. Israil Madrimov would also go into this fight knowing very well that his combination landing is more efficient than Israil Madrimov. He must make sure he lands that 3-4 combination anytime he gets into range with his footworks, making it difficult for Vergil Ortiz wanting to exchange with him. And also, another thing is that he must work on his defense, as sometimes his aggression is used against him. He must always keep a high guard, as both of them are similar in terms of skill. He must keep a high guard in order to secure his win. Then use his southpaw and orthodox fighting skill in order not to create a rhythm for Vergil Ortiz, and also use his angles, which he's very good at. He likes moving side by side, then he creates angle for himself. Because Vergil Ortiz often moves in a straight line, it would be difficult for him to counter the angle movement and then use that to his advantage. For his footworks, he has a better footworks, and he must also use it efficiently in order to pressure Vergil Ortiz in fighting on the back foot. As Vergil Ortiz is not so good at fighting on the back foot, he should pressure Vergil Ortiz to go beyond his game plan, because we have seen Vergil Ortiz crumble a lot of times when he has been on the back foot. But notably, one thing I'm noticing about these two men is that though Madrimov has just 12 fights as a pro, he has faced a super boxer, an intelligent fighter in a high competitive fight against Terence Bell Crawford. Whilst Vergil Ortiz, the likes of Maurice Hooker and Samuel Vargas were way past their prime when he faced them, and they were no longer the same fighters that would cause him difficulty. So he has not been tested at the highest level, and we don't know how he would fare when push comes to shove, things don't go his way from a boxer who is quite difficult to overcome. He has stated clearly that he has beaten Israil Madrimov in sparring, but sparring is a different game. Israil Madrimov came back and replied that he wasn't really in the mood to spar that day, but it was because he was being paid to spar. That was the reason why he turned up for that particular sparring. So the Vergil Ortiz team must work on his defense very, very well, as he is not naturally accustomed to the weight, and he hasn't really faced any competition, as Israil Vergil Ortiz did not look good in his last fight. He was knocked down in his last fight and he did not understand. I think twice in the first round and somewhere in the fourth or fifth round, he was knocked down again and he did not look good in that particular fight. A lot of people had him losing that particular fight, but he got the W. So this is a time for him to make amends and secure the W. Both men have good chin, and I think that if this fight is fought at a high pace, then Vergil Ortiz would be in trouble. Yes, Vergil Ortiz would be in trouble, so he should use his jab to control the pace of the fight and not allow Israil Madrimov to determine the pace at which this fight goes. This is my take on this particular fight. I am sorry, I am not going to give a prediction on this one, as I think that both men are equal to the task and any one of them can come up with a W. I see it going all 12 rounds and the winner might end up securing a majority or a split decision, as I think it would be a very, very close fight. It may be one of the most entertaining fights on the night. So this is my take on Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Israil the Dream Madrimov. If you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe, press the bell icon, express your views in the comment section, share so others can enjoy, and you can also watch other videos on Sports TV. Thank you for watching. Stay positive. Remember,